Hello, truth seekers. Today is the 3rd of April, 2025. This is episode 111 of Life, Liberty, and Hines. With me, Brian Hines, your host and writer, I guess. I hate fake news, and I'm just trying to provide an alternative. So I self-identify as a journalist. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we should really get to it. A day or two ago, on April 2nd, that would be a day ago, it was Liberation Day. And I think there were a lot of people expecting some stuff. But the stuff that you're getting is maybe not hands-on. Not yet, anyway. Liberation Day. What was that? Well, Trump told us what it was going to be. And he said it had something to do with tariffs. And that's exactly what it was. It was tariffs. And he put tariffs on every country out there. Want to know why? Because they had tariffs on us. And to be like fair and stuff, you should just put like the same kind of tariff on them. You know what I mean? But Trump, he's such a nice guy that he didn't equal their tariff. He said, we'll put half of the tariff on you that you put on us. Like, what he called it was reciprocal tariffs. But Falkland Islands, for example, 82% on American products. Well, Trump gave them 41%. Lesotho. I mean, like, who really knows where Lesotho is? It's a country. It's right there. It was on the list. And they were at a measly 99% tariff on United States products. Yep, just 99%. So, like, if you wanted to buy something from Made in America and you lived in Lesotho, let's say that item cost $100. Well, tariffs are going to make it cost $199. But anyway, Lesotho, 99% on us. Trump gives them just 50%. Guyana. See, there's something about gold down there or something, but it's just hard to get. But anyway, 76%. Trump gives them 38, just half. And Madagascar, 93%. So we give them 47. Here's another high one. Laos, 95%. Trump gives them 48. And then Cambodia, 97%. I mean, Cambodia, who's going to buy something made in America in Cambodia anyway? How does our stuff even get there? All them boats, them shipping container boats, they're like one-way ships. They go back empty, and they come here full with junk from around the world, including Cambodia. I think I've seen tires with Cambodia on. But anyway, Cambodia, they charge us 97%. So Trump only charged them 49. All these high tariffs. See, there's other countries like Turkey, Australia, Peru, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bahamas, and many others that only charge us 10%. So Trump gave them 10% too. Because what's the sense of having less than 10%? But that's where fair trade is. So you know what? If you have 10% and 10%, why don't you just have zero? Both sides. Well, you know what? That is a good idea. Because as of this morning, Vietnam, India, and Canada dropped their tariffs from the United States. Yeah. So these leaders of all these countries that want to charge us all this tariff and stuff, they must be liberal leaders, and they mustn't have read Art of the Deal, because you're gonna like lose. You don't even really have to read Art of the Deal. A lot of this stuff going on, if you just turn the clock back 4 years, 8 years, boom, there you go. We're back at a tariff war. Fake news was lying about it. I think a little more than they are now, actually. They're still lying about it. But I believe they were lying about it a little bit more back then. But maybe that's because some of the fake news is replaced with central casting. But that's a different topic. For some reason, it looked like Israel charges 0%, which means they got 0%. That's what you call fair trade. But once again, how much stuff do we really trade with Israel? We don't make that much. So made in America is like almost non-existent anymore to begin with. Speaking of these, all these percentages they're charging us, like, not only what is Falkland Islands going to buy from us? Because, I mean, there's a huge population of Falkland Islands. What are they going to buy from us? Made in America. What do we make? We don't make cars. We might, like, put them together, but to put together with foreign products. And we might make furniture, as long as the Democrats don't ruin all of the furniture making area of North Carolina. But what are they really going to buy in Falkland Islands from America? Probably nothing. And meanwhile, they want to charge us 82%. That's why I'd be calling them liberal leaders. Democrats around the world trying to rip us off. Like I said, Vietnam, India, Canada, they dropped their tariffs as of this morning. That's good stuff. Yeah, we sent all of our manufacturing overseas. So, what are they really getting from us? 34. We're to the corrupt judges section. And pretty much every week I got a couple corrupt judges worth mentioning that are interfering with the MAGA mandate. And I seen a list. 34 federal judges that are overstepping the boundaries from their judicial branch that they're in. And they are trying to control what the executive branch is doing. Trump. I really don't feel like reading off 34 names. But these judges, these 34 corrupt federal judges, need to be called out. Name by name. I read them off of the paper. I put them down here. And corrupt federal judges interfering with the MAGA movement mandate. 1. Paul A. Engelmeyer, a corrupt judge. 2. Carl Nichols. Yep, you guessed it. Another corrupt judge. We'll move on to 3. Jin Cobb. Looks like it was J-I-N. You might pronounce it differently because it sounds like Asian or something. But anyway, number 4, John Kugenauer. Number 5, George A. Toole Jr., another corrupt judge. And then we move on to corrupt judge number 6, and that is Colleen Collar Cotelli. You almost made your name a little difficult there. It's almost KKK, but it's CKK. But they are Democrat, liberal, so she should just spell her first name, Colleen, with a K. That way it fits so much better. And we'll move on to the next corrupt judge by the name of number 7, by the name of John McConnell. And we'll move right on to number 8, Kenneth J. Gonzalez. To the next corrupt judge, number 9, Joseph LaPlante. And then number 10, Angel Kelly. On to number 11, corrupt judge John Bates. All these people have interfered with the executive branch. All of these individuals are overstepping their boundaries. And all of these individuals are still on a bench. I think we need a new system. We move on to number 12, corrupt judge Brendan Herson. And then number 13, Leo Sorokin is also a corrupt judge. And we move on to number 14, Amir Ali. That almost sounds like a corrupt judge. Amirali. Just saying. Number 15, Anthony J. Trenga is a corrupt judge, just as well as number 16, Adam Abelson. And then, of course, number 17, Deborah Boardman is also a corrupt judge. And number 18, Theodore Chung, as well as number 19, Lauren L. Alakan. Both, you guessed it, corrupt judges. We're on to number 20. Yeah, reading 34 names is pretty annoying. But being a corrupt judge is pretty annoying also. So, number 20, Jamal Whitehead. Number 21, Lauren King. Number 22, as far as the list of corrupt judges goes, Rudolph Contreras. I believe I heard that name a time or two. And you know, most of these names, I mean, it's 34 of them. But these names aren't even names that I brought up on this show previously. Maybe this one is. Corrupt judge number 23, Beryl Heil. That one kind of sounds like I might have brought her up a couple weeks ago. But number 24, corrupt judge Sparkle Sukunanen. I would have remembered that name. Never brought that up yet. So not only these 34 corrupt judges, there's a whole lot more. And I believe we're covering one by the name of Roberts later here. But, Sukunanen. Yeah, we're on to number 25 corrupt judge, Jesse M. Foreman. This is almost too many, I'm telling you. One is too many. Number 26, corrupt judge Christopher Cooper. Number 27, corrupt judge William Alsop. Number 28, James Bredar. And number 29, Jane E. Boasberg are both corrupt judges. And Boasberg, he's had his name out there quite a bit. Like they throw one name out there in the media in place of all these other ones. So it looks like there's only one bad one. But that Boasberg, he's associated with that FISA court back when Hussein Obama was spying on the Trump campaign. Yeah, back then. James Boasberg, he had a lot to do with that FISA court stuff. Along with Roberts. Just saying. And now we're into the 30s. Number 30, Royce Lamberth, is a corrupt judge, as well as 31, Ellen Hollander, and number 32, Benjamin Hale. And then we have the final two corrupt judges on the list is number 33, Matthew F. Kennelly, and number 34, Edward Chen, corrupt judge. There's something very similar with every one of these. They were all indoctrinated at those higher, what they call education campuses, sometimes known as universities and or colleges. These 34 are just a small list of corrupt judges nationwide. They're not just violating the executive branch. They're violating every one of our constitutional rights because we voted for Trump. And the judges closer to you are also corrupt. Remember, they all been indoctrinated at the same place. Might be a different building with a different name. Yale, Harvard, Columbia. Trump needs to pull some more funds from these colleges and universities. Like, all of it. That was a lot of work. 34 corrupt judges that were worth mentioning their name. Calling you out. Be nice if they would just start stepping down. But they believe they're above the law, and currently they are. I don't think our founding fathers wanted it to be like this. But we're here to fight back. We got to move on to Marine Le Pen. I listened to the pronunciation. Marine Le Pen is imprisoned in France to keep her from winning an election. Yeah, she, there was some kind of, I forget what the charges were. I just read it yesterday. But they were trying to do this with Trump. Luckily, our Constitution is stronger and better than France's because they managed to find an alleged crime to charge Marine Le Pen with, just to keep her out of an election. If they thought they were going to win, or they knew they'd win, they wouldn't have to imprison an opponent. But we've seen that here. They tried to do that with Trump. Stupid impeachments. Then they pulled some crap and buttons. They tried a lot of different ways to get rid of Trump. But he's still here. He's winning for us. The tariffs, that was pretty good stuff. But them corrupt judges that I talked about, they're not just here in America. Because Marine Le Pen, she's been in prison. I'm going to say that France has courts full of corrupt judges also. But before this bit of information, the elite, the judges protect the so you have a corrupt justice system here in America, and you have a more corrupt justice system in France. This isn't how world peace is going to be accomplished. Something needs to be done to get Marine Le Pen out of prison. And on to Trump commuted Jason Galanis' sentence. He is Hunter Biden's business partner. He is one that knows the Biden family plans after the vice presidency that Biden held. In 2016, I don't believe VP Biden had any intentions on running for president in 4 years. But I believe the Democrats needed somebody really bad to cheat with, because they believed that the rest of their party was still good enough to win against somebody, just not Trump. So the worst possible person at the time was Biden. And they knew they were going to steal the election anyway, because if they didn't know, they wouldn't have had to plan an insurrection. So Trump commuted Jason Galanis' sentence, and that's because he's going to have to testify. Where? Guantanamo Bay. Because he knows a lot of the dirty stuff that was done inside. And now that they prosecuted him for working for them, he's going to spill the beans. And being he didn't do anything anywhere near as bad as the rest of the Biden crime family, you get a sentence commuted. No big deal. There's a lot of bad tactics used in the justice system. And if you got to let one bad person out to bust 100 bad people, maybe it's worth a try. Because you really don't want those 100 bad people out there. And we also had an election just the other day. Two Republicans, Randy Fine and Jimmy Patronis, won in Florida. They were both endorsed by President Trump. And their winning brings our lead in the House of Representatives up to 220 Republicans and 213 Democrats. Many Republicans Like, there were four of them listed today: Collins, McConnell, Murkowski, and Rand Paul. Rand Paul, I thought he normally goes with the conservatives, but he like rhinoed today or yesterday. They voted on something, and they were like, those are four rhinos that definitely need to be called out. And there you go. But two Republicans in Florida win. That's great. While a Wisconsin judge, a liberal judge, wins. The Republican voters not go out there. Well, I just listed 34 corrupt judges. I'm pretty sure conservatives don't want to vote for any judge because they think the same thing I think. And they're like, well, they're all trained in the same place. Just because they appear to be better, they're not. As we're finding out with, everybody thought Justice Roberts was so perfect. Well, he's not. He's tied in with the FISA court, spying on Trump. And he's also tied in with a couple chat rooms that are all libtards and Democrats, like the evil kind. So, Mr. Perfect Justice Roberts is corrupt, just like these 34 libtard judges. So, Democrats win by default. When Republicans don't go out and vote for a rhino judge, then the liberal judge definitely wins. But we want justice. So hopefully, by us getting more people in the House of Representatives, maybe that'll get us justice. Anyway, there's two more seats. I think one's Arizona and one is brain fade. But anyway, there's two more seats open in the House, and the states have not given when they're going to have a special election for those to fill those seats. But hopefully we'll fill them. Couple minutes. Facts. 2 weeks ago, March 20th, in 1854, the Republican Party was founded in Wisconsin to counter Democrats' plan to expand slavery. Alrighty. Just tidbit of information, and this is recent information. Pocahontas stole money from the LA fire victims and put it in her little organization called Act Blue. So, Pocahontas, otherwise known as Elizabeth Warren, is stealing from the fire victims of LA. Just another Democrat. Daily activity. Hope you all have a wonderful week. And